I got issues, you guys. I got problems. I know this is Jacques. I got problems. I am at risk of hitting a wall in game development. I need to talk about it, and I want you to listen to me. Welcome to the ADHD Game Dev channel. I'm Brandon, and you are watching the show. If you have subscribed here, then I'm so glad to have you. And if you haven't subscribed, then it's okay. You're fine. Whatever. That's cool. You're not as cool as the subscribers. I'm going to tell you that. That's the honest truth of it. But phew, you do you, man. So, yeah, I am working on Tiny, the last Wayfinder that you can find on Steam and wishlist it right now. That would be cool if you did. And I've hit some slowdowns, and I'm going to acknowledge it. I want to talk about the reasons behind it. I want to acknowledge them because I think it's important that we acknowledge stuff instead of just ignoring it. And I think I've been ignoring it. I think I've been talking around it. I think I've been ignoring it. And it's important to get these hangups and these issues in front of us so that we can, I think, take the power out of them is what it really does. When you acknowledge them, it takes the power away. It's like the monster under your bed could be anything, but once you look, it's nothing but dust bunnies and missing Legos. There's a few issues. There's a few issues that I hit, and the big one, I think, is that lack of novelty. That the novelty is gone, and that is going to happen with us ADHDers out there in game devs because the fun of the whole thing is starting a new project and to see where it can go. Okay. That's the fun of it. And once you've accomplished the fun, then the tedium sets in. This gets into my previous video about the 75% problem. If you didn't watch that, you should watch that because I'll give you more stuff to distract you with. But that 75% problem hits in because the novelty is gone and you've hit the unfun part. And in large part, you've proven to yourself that you can do it if you wanted to, which you no longer want to. I'm going to talk about me because this is about what I'm doing. And, if you can relate, great. I'll say that's what's going on with me, that I have proven to myself that, yeah, I know I could do it. Okay, the other thing I think in a serious fashion is that I hit this lack of planning because I set off with only a part of a plan about just getting going with it, and my game has evolved along the way, and now in large part I kind of hit the end of the plan and I've modified the plan, and the plan is kind of run out and I'm uncertain what the next step is. So having a plan in place to be able to know where you're going, a roadmap, is super helpful because once you run out of roadmap and you're not laying down more track in front of yourself, you're not drawing more roadmap, you don't know where to go next. That's a problem. Okay, next thing that I am facing that is a big deal, this is serious though, is self-doubt. Self-doubt, it's a killer. I don't like it. I talk about self-doubt a lot. I talk about you can do it. I talk about you be awesome today. I say you need to be the first person to believe in yourself. I say this because I know how intense the self-doubt can be of saying that what you're creating is not good enough. And I get this step back and to see what the complete thing that I have started to make is, and I say, it's not good enough. And the question has got to be in your mind, not good enough for who? For who? And I want to tell you, and I want to tell me, you don't have the right to tell people that they're not allowed to like your game. I dropped a marker. That just made a point. You're not allowed to tell people that they shouldn't like your game. What gives you the right to say, no, you shouldn't like this? Well, I'm sorry. I happen to like your janky, unfinished, broken game that doesn't meet the full vision that you had in your mind. I like what you presented me. I'm sorry. And I bring up George Lucas because he annoys me to death. I got Star Wars stuff everywhere. Because he annoys me to death when he wants to go back in and edit Star Wars again and again like he used to do when he owned it. And it was almost a slap in my face as a fan to say that there was something wrong with me for enjoying Star Wars as it was presented in the first place. That he would go back in and say, no, it should be better. Like, I'm sorry, I liked it the way it was. Don't let self-doubt eat away at your successes and your forward momentum. It's a killer. It's a killer. Okay, what else hits me? Let's get it all out there. Life stress hits me. Life stress. It's been rough out here. I've had life stress. I've had work stress. I've had home stuff going on. It's a lot. And it eats away at you. And I think it's important in all of these things to have a solution that I need to remind myself of. To be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. We can be so merciless to ourselves. We can be so critical to ourselves. Why not be nice to yourself instead? Why not be? I felt the need to chill out and play Minecraft. Click, 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 click. That was good. It let my brain relax. I also did, this is probably ill-advised. I'll be the first to tell myself this is ill-advised. I started working on just a palette cleanser of a project, just a space shooter, pew-pew asteroids, just because I can. And because that's what's fun for me, to work on something else distracting. And you get this shiny project distraction, and it can really take the wind out of your sails. It can be a healing thing. It can be helpful to get a different perspective, but you can also get into that matter of, ooh, other game doesn't have all these problems of game number one. Game number two is perfect, right? Everything's perfect until you actually make it. Everything's perfect until you hit the struggles and the difficult points, isn't it? So I have had the struggles, and I have had the need to just take a step back, but yeah, there's a risk involved in that too. So just be aware of it. Be aware of it. But being nice to yourself is never a bad idea. I am hung up on another thing of resistance of the next thing that I really need to do. And to me, it's kind of dumb stuff too. Again, being nice to myself. Let's not use self-criticizing words like it's dumb. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I don't feel like animating a bird. I'm serious. I'm just being serious with you right now. It's embarrassing. That's the kind of stuff that I'm dealing with, is that I don't feel like adding villagers. I've already done some villagers and I don't want to add one. And animating the bird seems like a nuisance and I don't want to do it. And you get into this, if you watch I recommend her channel, Jessica McCabe does the How to ADHD channel, and she talks about the wall of awful. Oh, I love the metaphor. I keep it in my brain. The wall of awful says that whatever the thing is that you're got in front of you that is resisting you is just this giant wall, and it's indiscriminate and it's horrible and it's vague. It's just awful and you don't know what it is exactly or what the problem is, but it's just terrible and you don't want to address it. And in my case, it's a bunch of stuff of, oh, what a nuisance. And I see in my mind when I break down what does animating this bird model, what's it mean? Well, it means a whole bunch of graphs and lines in Blender. And I'm like, oh, it's confusing. I haven't even tried, okay? But this confusion in my mind is sitting there and I haven't even tried. So much like the beginning of the video when I said it's so important to get these things out and to let's vocalize them, get them out there and start addressing them. I think it's important to allow yourself to at least, I don't know, kick the tires and to take those baby steps, to use the runways and the springboards that I've talked about previously, and to say, I don't have to animate the entire sequence. Just open the file. That's all. That's the springboard. That's that little step. Just open the file and look at it, okay? Just look at it. I don't have to fix it. I don't have to finalize it. Just do the one little thing. So I know what I need to do to make a little bit of forward momentum. And I find that a lot of times what happens is that this big wall that's in your mind and all these resistances, once you start naming them and once you start chipping away at them, they fall like dominoes. Over and over again in my project, I have found that the things that I was worried about, the things that caused me concern, the things that caused me dread weren't all that bad. I spent a lot of time fiddling around with the full screen and windowed settings, which I still couldn't get working correctly for reasons. I didn't plan on that. I didn't know that was going to be a problem. I was worried about importing a character model so that I could add more hats to my character to be unlocked. And that was the thing that caused me dread. It took me like 10 minutes to do that, by the way. When I rebuilt my character setup, I got a few errors and I had to fix them. And the character setup allowed me to add those toggles. I had to restructure it. And it was all this vague dread of, oh, I don't know how to do it. And once I actually tried, it took like 10 minutes. All this hemming and hawing over that, and it was not that big of a deal. Meantime, the other thing I didn't even see coming is what was actually more problematic. And we can't always know what's going to be the difficult part of our projects, but I find that most of the time it's not that bad. And the process should be fun. I need to remind myself of that the process of getting in and messing around with 3D models is a privilege. I am honored that I can open up Blender and look at the graphs and curvatures and understand what it is. I should not take that and let that be a moment of dread. I should remind myself that I like this, I love this, this is part of what makes me me. Somebody else standing over my shoulder would go, "Well, I don't even know what you're doing, and I wish I knew Blender." I do. I need to remind myself to like what I am doing, to like who I am, and to spark the joy of what I am making again. Sometimes you need to take a step back. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pause. Sometimes you need to do something else to clear the cobwebs out of your brain. But I hope that when you come back to whatever you're working on, that you will rediscover the joy of creation. I sound like Bob Ross, the joy of painting right here. We're going to put in this happy little quad right there. Happy little quads all over the place. Hey, if you didn't subscribe already, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Not subscribing, obviously, but I hope that you will do that. I hope that you'll check out Tiny the Last Wayfinder. And above all else, be awesome today. Talk to you later.